Welcome back, everybody. I'm Bill from Maksim Outdoors, and I'm taking you to State Park number 19 for my State Park series this week. I'm back here at Linn Run State Park. If you missed the episode last week, we had a pretty epic day checking out Adams Falls, as well as some old ruins in the area. Well, today I'm going to be taking you to possibly one of the coolest ruins here in all of Pennsylvania, an old hunting lodge right alongside Linn Run itself. So we're going to be doing, I believe it's called the Flat Rock Trail, heading from here all the way back and then coming back. It's only about a mile or so. So it's going to be a good day. It's December 28th. It's starting to get warmer. It's about probably 33, 34 degrees right now. But yeah, should be a good one. So we got some awesome water features, as well as one of the coolest ruins you will see on this episode. So what do you say? Let's go tackle State Park number 19, Linn Run. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for coming out and joining me for yet another State Park adventure. Like I said at the beginning, this is State Park number 19. If you're maybe new to this channel, you can go back and watch the other 18 that I've done, or go back and watch my first part from Linn Run here last week when we headed up to Adams Falls. So as you can see here, this is the IS Group Trail. We're not going to be doing that today. It's like only, I think, 3/4 of a mile. You can see the Flat Rock Trail just up ahead. So last week I touched a little bit more on the history of this state park. Like so many other state parks in Pennsylvania as well as the country, the CCC came out here, helped develop this whole area, building stuff like that pavilion up ahead, the cabin that I'm staying at today, and the trails that we're going to be hiking on today. So you can once again thank the CCC for this. Another fun, interesting fact is this is one of the oldest state parks in all of Pennsylvania, established back in 1909, when many Pennsylvanians kind of called this area the wasteland. The logging companies would have came through and cut down all the trees, the hemlocks, you name it, and it was just a barren wasteland, always having wildfires, and pretty much only known for like the brambles and thickets and vines and all that nasty stuff. That's pretty much all this area was until the CCC came out and planted some trees, and you know, over 100 years later, this is what we have. So yeah, enough rambling. Like I said, we're going to be checking out a pretty awesome ruin here, one of the coolest ruins in all of Pennsylvania. It's an old hunting lodge right along Linn Run. So let's get going. Alrighty guys, well, as you can see, we kind of took a little bit of a side route. We came down off this hill from Adam Falls and are officially now on the Flat Rock Trail. So we'll be heading down this way for maybe a quarter of a mile, and then eventually heading back this way, back to the parking lot. But as you can see, a lot different here down by the creek. You know, the mountains, you get a lot of hardwoods and big boulders, and down here by the creek side, it's pretty much dominated by these big hemlock trees like this one in front of me, as well as these rhododendron bushes that are pretty much everywhere down here. And that's all due to being right along the creek here. So we're going to keep heading down here, and I will be showing you the old hunting lodge here in just a second. Well, we're continuing on down towards Flat Rock, but I wanted to stop and make a little ID here since I haven't made an ID yet for this video. As you can see, this trail is pretty much full of these green plants everywhere you look down along the creek here. So I'm sure a lot of people can guess what these are at home. A lot of people might say mountain laurel, but these are actually rhododendron. And a little fun fact I just read: rhododendron, long name, long leaf. Mountain laurel, short name, short leaf. And the flowers are another telltale sign for the rhododendron. Rhododendron have much bigger flowers, but there's a little plant ID for you guys. The Great Rhododendron, pretty much all over this place, as you can see. And maybe we'll get lucky and spot a mountain laurel as well today. All right, well, if you wanted to see this video for the ruins, like I said, this is probably one of the cooler ruins in all of Pennsylvania that I've run into. This was an old hunting lodge, and as you can see, still standing pretty darn well to this day. Built back in the late 1800s or early 1900s, I'm not quite sure. You can see like the main focal point here, the giant chimney coming out of this fireplace here. We'll take a look up there and see how clear it is to this day. Yep, you can see all the way through. So yeah, this was the old hunting lodge, and you can pretty much tell that this most likely was 2 stories back in the day. They probably would have had some beams coming across here with timber, and obviously just rotted away over the years. But yeah, this would have been cool to see fully functional. But that kind of leads into another story. So we talk about logging a lot on this channel, and how the loggers came out and pretty much destroyed most of Pennsylvania and left it barren wasteland. Well, the hunters didn't really help either. These camps were dotted all around Pennsylvania, and there were no regulations. You know, the Game Commission wasn't a thing back in the early 1900s. People could pretty much go out and shoot whatever they wanted to. You go out and shoot 20 deer a day, 20 bear a day if you wanted to. And that basically left the state void of any wildlife. So white-tailed deer were actually pretty much extinct here in Pennsylvania. So what they did back in the 20s is they went up to Michigan and New York and actually caught some deer up there and transplanted them down to Pennsylvania. And the modern day herds that we have down here nowadays are all thanks to the Michigan and New York deer population. So I'm sure this camp probably helped out with that situation, killing a lot of deer down in this area. But yeah, one last look at this pretty well preserved old hunting lodge here at Linn Run State Park. All right, well, one last look here at the old hunting lodge. You can even see the old roof eave there that would have came out a good, 15 foot. But yeah, I mean, just think how many beer bottles probably sat on this ledge here, and how many fires full of, hunting stories and whatnot came through this lodge back in the 1900s. But one thing I did notice, I've been here 3 or 4 times, never noticed this little outbuilding here. I don't know if this was kind of like a cold cellar kind of deal. Maybe this is where they would throw their kills. Maybe, they throw their deer in after a long day, take it back home to places like Pittsburgh, Uniontown. But yeah, never noticed this little outbuilding here before. Guessing just as old as the lodge itself. But all right, well, we're gonna keep heading on down the trail, and I'll be showing you Flat Rock here in just a minute. Well, we made it pretty much to the end of the trail, and as you guessed, this is the area known as Flat Rock. And we're gonna try not to fall flat on our butts here, since this is nothing but pretty much straight ice. But here is a nice view of Linn Run as it meanders on through the park here. Obviously, Linn Run is the reason why this park has its name. Also an excellent trout fishery from what I heard. And I think we're gonna hang out down here for a little bit, get a couple shots, maybe a time lapse or two, and just hang out. The sun's out, snow is starting to melt, and it's definitely warming up. But yeah, check out these views of Linn Run. Well, hopefully this iPhone does it justice, but right in the water here, you can see a little, I believe it's a native trout, either a brown or a brook. It's got some red fins on it, but right here in the middle of Flat Rock, as you can see, a little native trout for you guys out there. All right, guys, well, here's a pretty cool looking fish right here. I believe it's either a native brookie or a native brown trout. I've used these cameras underwater before, but I've never used them in below freezing water. But I'm gonna attempt to send you down into the depths of Linn Run to figure out what kind of fish that is, so we can get a positive ID for the year. So anyway, if this is the last video footage from the GoPro 10, I'm sorry, but let's send you guys underwater and try to figure out what kind of fish this is. Or it's just gonna swim away and we'll totally miss it, and I'll break my GoPro camera all in one shot. So let's see what happens here. Well, one last glance here of Flat Rock. Spent almost an hour here, believe it or not, just hanging out and doing some time lapses, but absolutely gorgeous here in the wintertime. Like I said, the trail does pretty much end here, although there is kind of like a beaten down path that heads down this way. I'm gonna try to take you guys down. I've been down there one time before, and there's kind of like a makeshift little dam down there. We could see if we could get down there or not. If not, we'll start heading back to the parking lot. But yeah, I just wanted to show you one last glimpse here of Flat Rock before we head on out of here. Well, just a real quick stop here. So after you make it down to the makeshift trail, if you cut down along this fence line here, you run into this beautiful deep hole here as Linn Run heads outside of the state park. But tell you what, last time I was here, there was probably maybe 3/4 less water here. I was actually able to walk across this area here. This is what I was calling like the makeshift dam. But yeah, a lot of water down here today. Usually you'd be able to get down into this area and walk around, but not today, I guess, due to all the snowfall and whatnot. But tell you what, if you have a pair of waders and a fly rod, this would probably be an excellent place to land some native trout here in Linn Run. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this cool little waterfall there in the distance, kind of like a little hidden gem here within the state park. So with that, we're gonna head back up the hill and head on back down the trail back to the parking lot, and I'll be showing you some of the sites we missed due to cutting down off the hill. So let's go check out the rest of this trail. Pretty much back here in the picnic area, so I guess this would be a good time to wrap up this video and just to thank all you guys for, you know, stopping out and taking a couple minutes and watching yet another one of my videos here from State Park number 19, Linn Run. Hopefully this all entices you to come out here and check out this pretty amazing park, whether it's summer or winter. This day was a lot of fun, seeing a lot of cool ruins on this trip, a lot of cool waterfalls, and of course this creek itself, which would be worth stopping just to see that alone. So anyway, like I said, State Park number 19. Hopefully we can make it to State Park number 20 here in the coming days. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button if you aren't already. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. Maybe you can tell me some more history about this area. Like the video if you can, and check me out over on Instagram and Facebook for some sneak peeks at upcoming episodes. But all right guys, I will see you next time at State Park number 20. So stay tuned and see where I head next. All right guys.